recent developments in Manipur have brought into sharp focus the issue of unequal treatment by law enforcement agencies, particularly the National Investigation Agency, NIA, in handling cases involving Meitei militant groups, such as Arambaitangal and the Kuki village volunteer forces. This disparity has become the centerpiece of intense political debate and social unrest in the region. Arambaitangal, a Meitei organization initially formed as a cultural and social outfit, has been accused of transforming into a radical militia that played a significant role in the 2023 to 2025 Meitei Kuki ethnic violence. Reports from multiple sources confirm that Arambaitangal was involved in looting government armories, obstructing police operations, and orchestrating mob violence against the Kuki community. Despite the gravity of these allegations, legal action against its leaders has been sluggish. One of the most prominent figures in this controversy is Kurungamba Kuman, the self-styled chief of Arambaitangal. He was implicated in multiple first information reports, including RC03-2024/NIA/IMP, registered on February 9, 2024. This case includes charges under various laws, such as the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, the Official Secrets Act, and the Arms Act. It accuses Kuman of leading raids against state police forces, looting arms and ammunition, and hiding weapons in Meitei areas. Despite the seriousness of these charges, Kuman was not immediately apprehended, raising concerns over political shielding. Another FIR was linked to a major assault on the 1st Manipur Rifles, where police personnel were attacked with looted arms. The delay in arresting such individuals became more evident when the Supreme Court intervened and transferred 8 criminal cases related to the 2023 violence from Manipur to the NIA Special Court in Guwahati. This transfer underscored the lack of a conducive environment in Manipur to ensure unbiased legal proceedings, especially given the threats posed by public mobs and political pressure in the Imphal Valley. Other significant figures like Asem Kanan Singh, a former police constable and alleged army chief of Arambaitangal, were only arrested in June 2025, despite being implicated in serious crimes, like cross-border arms smuggling and the abduction of a senior officer earlier in February. Similarly, Longjam Kaba Singh Boy, a commander of Arambaitangal, was arrested on June 23, 2025, for his involvement in the abduction and murder of MD Chesam Abdul Qadir. These arrests triggered massive public outcry among Meitei groups, with protests, curfews, and internet shutdowns reported across the Imphal Valley. The political response to these arrests revealed a disturbing level of sympathy for the accused. Prominent Meitei politicians and civil society organizations, including the influential Mira Paibis, protested against the NIA's actions. Demonstrations and road blockades were organized, claiming that Arambaitangal members were defenders of the Meitei people rather than criminals. This narrative, however, failed to account for the brutal attacks and widespread destruction attributed to these individuals during the ethnic violence. In stark contrast, the Kuki village volunteers who took up arms in self-defense during the same period have been subjected to swift and decisive legal action. One notable example is the arrest of Kamganthang Gangte, a leader associated with the Kuki National Army. He was apprehended on May 19, 2025, for allegedly being involved in the sniper shooting of a police officer in October 2023. Unlike the delayed action against Meitei militants, Kukis faced immediate raids, detentions, and intense scrutiny from law enforcement. This glaring disparity has led to widespread discontent among the Kuki community. Many believe that the NIA and other investigative bodies are selectively targeting Kuki individuals while being lenient towards Meitei offenders. While over 1,000 Meitei arrests have reportedly taken place, Kuki leaders argue that the scale and speed of legal action against their community have been disproportionate and unjust. Further aggravating the situation is the political patronage enjoyed by Arambaitangal. Figures like N. Biren Singh, the former chief minister, and Lishemba Sanajoba, the titular king and member of parliament, have been accused of either openly supporting or turning a blind eye to the group's actions. This political backing has made it difficult for investigative agencies to act independently, leading to delays and, in some cases, the softening of charges. The Supreme Court's decision to relocate cases to Guwahati was not just a legal formality, but a recognition of the compromised judicial environment in Manipur. The move was prompted by threats to witnesses, attempts to influence investigations, and an overall climate of intimidation. By shifting jurisdiction, the judiciary hoped to ensure impartiality and the rule of law. However, even after the transfer, public and political resistance from Meitei groups continues to hinder progress. The core issue lies in the perception and reality of unequal justice. While the Meitei majority in the Imphal Valley mobilizes massive protests to shield individuals accused of heinous crimes, the Kuki minority is left vulnerable to unchecked state action. This imbalance in law enforcement not only fuels further ethnic polarization, but also erodes public trust in democratic institutions. In response to the growing pattern of arrests and legal actions targeting Kuki individuals, the Kuki community has begun to mobilize in protest. Public rallies have been organized across Kuki-inhabited territories, condemning what they describe as arbitrary arrests of Kuki leaders and volunteers. These rallies have drawn thousands of participants, including women, youth, and tribal elders, who demand fair and equal treatment under the law. Demonstrators carried placards and banners denouncing state bias and calling on national authorities to halt discriminatory practices. The growing movement signals the Kuki people's deepening frustration with what they perceive as state-enabled injustice. Legal experts and human rights organizations have called for a more balanced and transparent approach. They emphasize that justice must be blind to ethnicity, political influence, or social pressure. The NIA, in particular, must demonstrate that its investigations are based on evidence and law, not on political convenience. As Manipur remains embroiled in a complex web of ethnic tensions, political maneuvering, and legal battles, the role of impartial justice becomes more critical than ever. Ensuring that both Meitei and Kuki communities receive fair treatment under the law is not just a matter of legal necessity, but also a step toward long-term peace and reconciliation. The arrests of Arambai Tengol leaders and Kuki village volunteers mark only the beginning of a broader struggle for justice in Manipur. Unless law enforcement agencies apply the law equally and decisively, the cycle of violence, mistrust, and retaliation will continue to plague the state. Disclaimer: the information presented in this article is based on publicly available sources, news reports, and statements from community leaders. Zalingam Media does not claim to verify each and every allegation independently, and is not responsible for any legal, political, or social conclusions drawn from the contents. Viewers are advised to consult official government sources for authenticated information. Zalingam Media strives to represent underreported voices, but does not hold legal liability for claims made within this report. We encourage viewers to subscribe to Zalingam Media for more updates and in-depth reports on Northeast India and beyond.
Rule of law. We demand 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 rule of law. Bảo này con thảo đến, tổng thay thế là tổ đến, ta đến phải mổ mà thì lẽ này là lại mình bảo mình chứ. Rồi lẽ, bạn nào cái hiện tại lúc tôi hiện lẽ, tôi nhà không có khóa la, bây giờ bảo không có sao, hậu lâm cài, hậu bài hiện lẽ, anh biết gì à? Kuki ko tayo, Kuki tayo hindi long pitain. Piat long ahin. Ani kailan ba na to na event si body hindi long pitain. Malaki mo do lang si body hindi.
Army tem tawe army te. Tu he Kuki te to army te sipai ke ki bol cha lai ta he sal bunga he kha mo ve le tu tin mun he to he ba be vin lang la hi sal bung nu te na kham lai ta he pa sipai tiang lu the da kham su ke ve le tu tin mun he